Quinn and Cantera on PYX 106.
It's 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. I always wondered where they, how they decided on the initial DWI blood alcohol stuff. Like, who did the original study?
It's a good question.
And, where did they come up with that number? Which I think originally wasn't it 0.1 originally back in the day, then went to 0.08 or something?
The only one I know is 0.08, but here to help us with this, attorney Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti, because on Friday night, we got a New York lawmaker, Assemblyman Felix Ortiz, reintroducing his bill to change the threshold for drunken driving. It goes from 0.08 to 0.05. How hard would this be to move, Paul?
Well, the public opinion is firmly behind, anti-drunken driving. But I would say that I remember 0.10 when it first came out, and that was around for a long time. The math on that was about you're on your third drink pretty safely, and then if you wait an hour, you could just have one an hour. Then it went down to 0.08, and as you say, now they're looking at 0.05, which will really kind of almost make drinking and driving just as it should be. Virtually something that anytime you do it, you're at risk.
I mean, so let's go. We go to 0.05, then we go to nothing, right? I mean, is that what we're working towards?
Well, right now I was surprised to find out that only one state in our country is 0.05, and it's Utah. Pretty conservative out there, so probably if you're going to pick a state, that would be the state. But uniquely, there's over 100 countries around the world that have 0.05. So it is a standard that the world is going to, and the United States is kind of slow in getting there.
So it's about 2 drinks for most women and about 3 drinks for most men to get to 0.05. So
but now you're in the lottery. In the lottery. It says 2 drinks for women 120 pounds and men over 183. But that gets you right to the limits, right? So now these machines don't tend to be perfect all the time. Right. So if you go there and the breathalyzer, as they call it, is having a bad day, you're in the lottery of having a really bad night and a bad fight. So that's a little. When I read that, I wouldn't be real comfortable, having those 2 drinks and then waiting an hour and having 2. That puts you just below 0.05, probably.
Hey, be careful though. We take certain medicines and stuff that when we get it down to 1.1 or whatever, or 0.01 or whatever it is,
or if you haven't eaten. If you haven't eaten, it's a big factor also.
There you go.
So refresh me with the law, and I'm all for the safer, the more sober drivers, the better. But if I'm pulled over, and do I have the option to refuse the breathalyzer?
You don't. So when you got your license, you signed away. If the police find probable cause, meaning they stop you, where you're coming from, I'm coming from, a restaurant bar. It's kind of late at night, and maybe your eyes are a little glossy, and they ask you to take the breathalyzer, and if you refuse, you immediately lose your license, whether you were drunk or not. So, you have to take that test.
All the technology in the cars, you'd think, the cars should shut off when humans are idiots. They should just stop, and there should be a place that you have to get, a guy or a bus that comes and gets you, and you got to pay them because you're an idiot.
It's a lot easier to get from one place to one place now with ride sharing. I'm not saying it's the answer.
Sure.
But there's certainly more options today than there ever was.
Yeah, we're getting better, for sure.
I would take someone with 0.05 well over someone who's texting all day long, because the someone 0.05, although, again, maybe legally drunk soon, somebody texting is about 0.25 in terms, because they're not watching the road at all. So that's one of the real threats we have out here.
Am I allowed to make a citizen's arrest by taking the quarter panel of the front of my car into the rear panel of someone else's car and spin them out like the cops do? When I see them text, I see people texting every time I drive on Troy Schenectady Road on my way home.
That might be controversial.
Do I have the right to make that kind of citizen's arrest, Paul?
That would be a criminal charge against you. Yeah, that's right.
I wouldn't go quite that
Take him out. That's why Paul's my attorney. He's the best.
I love
Always with the solid advice.
Oh, my God. I love it. Thanks, Paul. Paul Harding, 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Paul Harding from Martin Harding Mazzotti. It's Quinn and Cantera, PYX 106.